Welcome back to the channel, guys. Now before we kick into today's vlog, I want to show you guys something I've been doing a bit of research on. So we're going to build this custom 180SX and I'm pretty much going to go full out with this. I know this is getting crazy out of hand, but bear with me. What I want to do is create a custom retro dash skin with old school digital dash, like I'm talking like Z31, JZZ30, back in the 80s and the 90s, the golden era of analog to digital, where things started to look kind of really cool and retro. But I want to keep it really stylish, so that's why I want to design my own. So I'm not just buying something pre-bought, pre-built, and it's not something I like. I want to build something that I will really enjoy. So check out the concept and let me know what you think. Alright, again, sorry, this is my really crappy drawings. I've got lots of crappy drawings lying around the house. This is my idea for the S13 dash modifications. Now, ignore some of these shapes and stuff because some of these may or may not work. But what I want to do, or what the concept behind it is, I pretty much want to create a jet or a military vehicle style interior. I want to build around the dash's original shape. So that's why I've still got the bit of the curve that you can see coming off here. I've still got the air vents and I've still got the OEM glove box on the side here. This part here, I may make like a shell that sits on top of the original dash, or I may just make the full dash skin and remove the dash completely. As my dash in my 180SX has nothing under it currently. I've pulled out all the ducting, so the ducting doesn't matter. It is hollow under there, so I'm not having any great loss by removing my dash. I've got no radio. The only thing that actually kind of really works in my dash is my aircon unit, and my original dash instrument cluster I was looking to pull out anyway, because when I go with the new setup with the motor, I will probably eliminate that dash completely. However, I didn't want to go with the classic Haltech dash, or an iPad with a program on it. I wanted to create something from scratch that is 100% mine, and that looks really cool and unique. So I got a couple of instrument panels here and here next to my legs. Now this is probably going to be a problem for my knee, because as most import guys know, it's common to bang your knees. That may not be a possibility on that side. However, this side I can run all my switches for LEDs, for neons, for anything that's going to be automated on the car, which there will be a couple of little things. So I want to have like a separate area to put all my switches and stuff, so I don't get them muddled up with anything operational. So yeah, it's going to be fun. And it's a big project and I'm getting myself way ahead here, but I'm keen to see it through. So if you're just coming across these videos, maybe skip back a couple of videos just to see what is happening and the current progress and where this all started, and some of the ideas that we'll be carrying through the vlog series and the build of this car. So check those out if you haven't already, and we are going to now head down to the garage and continue off where we left off. Just got down to the garage, but I have to shut it all up because I was getting eaten by mosquitoes. So here is the 180SX. Today I had to go down to Super Cheap and get some more supplies. So if you remember from earlier, I bought this amount of bog. Now, silly me thought that was going to be pretty okay and enough. Very wrong. I ran out of hardener and I've run out of bog. So now I've gone down and bought Mr. Bog's bigger brother. So it is huge. I probably should have bought about 4 kilos, but that's okay. I can buy more in future. And they also had these. How cool is it? Well, that's my protection against mozzies, because down here really sucks at the moment. They're the two little hardeners. So a can of this was $28. This one was $54, and then the hardeners were $10 each, and I had to buy them separately. And I think they might come with one each, I'm not sure. I was using my saw the other night to cut up the shape of the door here and to get it so it would open nicely. Whoa, I need to do a bit more carving apparently. So I went down to Super Cheap this afternoon and I bought some finer bladed hacksaw blades, and they're just loose so I can use them by hand, which will be good. I've just got to make sure that when I'm using them that I don't press too hard or I don't bend the blade, and then it'll get disfigured and I'll lose the flat shape of my carving, or of whatever I'm carving. And they also had these for free at Super Cheap, so I was like, yay! I love Nulon. I run Nulon in most of my cars, if not Penrite, but I've been running Nulon for what, 10 years now, and they're one of my favorite brands to use. So it was really cool. So now I can put it somewhere in my garage, somewhere. So the first thing I have to do right now is clean up the mess I made yesterday with all my bog. As I've been going, I've been realizing different ways that I can do this. I kind of did it the hard way, to be honest, because this now goes solid and it's harder to cut than what it is to cut this. And I've also got to make sure that the bog sticks onto the car. But the car is round, so it's very hard to kind of get this to stick to the car. So what I've been doing is creating blobs of bog and then sticking the foam onto the blobs. But I've had to watch out that no matter where I'm sticking, I don't know if you can see it in there. So you can see the bog is in there. But I've realized as I've been going that I have to watch out where I put the bog, because wherever I put it, it's going to be a lot harder to sand down or to cut. So I need to put it on places where I'm not necessarily going to cut the car at all. So something like this wasn't a good idea to put it on. I have put it in underneath as well, but I figured putting it on the corner there would have been okay to hold the shape and to hold that down until it's set. But what I should have done is probably put it in the inside on here. I have done that on further down, but I mean like the whole thing. I should have just plastered the whole thing in bog or some form of material to hold the foam better onto the car than what I've done. So I have put like little bits of bog in places where I figured it would hold pretty well and I wouldn't need to carve. So somewhere like here, I won't need to shave any of that down or any of this down because I need to put a block still there and cover that over. So that's not a big drama. But there's a couple of little things that I've realized while doing this that I could have done it better or I could have done it a different way than what I have. So if I have to do this in future again, I'll be keeping those in mind and making sure that I do it slightly different. And something like this, I've gotten up and under and put bog on the inside here to hold the foam onto here as well as on this and sandwich it together. But what I think I should do in future is maybe get a can of expander foam, and once I've laid down my foam like this, not use the can of expander foam to shape, but to use it to hold this foam onto the body of the car, so I don't have to worry about trying to get bog in weird little places. I've been working symmetrically on both sides, cutting out the exact same shapes on both sides and putting them in the exact same areas so that I can try and get the car as symmetrical by eye as I can. But that's not important for now. I just need to have something to start cutting. But I can't do too much with the rear at the moment because I'm waiting on a front and a rear bar to come for this car. So that'll probably be here in the next week or so, and I'll need them to be able to mold the lower half of this and to shape it onto the car correctly. So I don't know if I'll work on the back of it just yet. I might wait out until that rear bar rocks up and then install things and go from there. As well as eventually prepping the hatch so I can then make the fiberglass hatch top. I'm not sure yet whether I want to create like a glass replacement insert with the vents, or if I just want to go full custom and build my own fiberglass boot hatch for it. I'm not sure yet, but I'll figure it out as I go. I didn't want this to have any massive form of structure, and I didn't want to be locked into any specific certain designs. I just want to create something as I go and be really free with it and have fun and see where it ends up, and hopefully I like it, and if I don't, I can rip it off and start again. So now that I've got some more bog and some more hardener, I'm going to go around the car, mix up some more and create a couple more adhesive spots for the foam to stick to the body of the car. So I've also cut out some extra bits of scrap foam and wedged them up underneath the flat parts of the car that are curved that I haven't got anything behind. That way if I put any pressure on the blocks, it's not going to snap off the bog on the top here, it's going to press down and hold quite nicely. I didn't want to create any dramas with having an uneven width on both sides of the car if I'd cut too much out of the inside to put it onto the body of the car. And the shape that I want to do also is quite square. Not this square, but it's quite flat and I needed the big flat surfaces to work with. So I cut out some shapes earlier when I was playing around trying to figure out how I wanted to lay down these blocks, and I just realized I cut out the perfect little bits for in here. Stay. 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 Come on. So what I have to do with this one, as you can see, I've got the top of the wheel well up here and across here. I don't need this to be perfect because I can make this properly out of the thinner one and lay a layer over the top here. What I just need to do with this is to bring it out enough that I can then shape the outside of the blocks. And this guy stays there. Stay. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to cut out my other one of these and use those two bits to create these little parts on both sides and mix the bog and stick them down. And apparently knock everything over. We're getting there. The hardest part is obviously this part, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that do this for a trade that are probably laughing at me or face palming. Why are you doing it that way? I'm sorry, okay? I'm just creating a way for me to do it as I'm doing it because I don't know how else to do it. It's kind of like going back to art class and playing with sculpting clay again.